YouTube? It's Phanto. I'm back. This is actually gonna be a quick video. Hopefully y'all can see me good. I relapsed again, man, after like 70 days. Today I relapsed, and I found something out about myself, bro. You learn a lot more about yourself, and this is just true. You learn about yourself when you do long streaks of NoFap, but you learn about your weaknesses when you relapse. You know what I mean? It's like there's some quote, you learn more in the valleys than you ever would at the mountaintops or whatnot, right? And it's like, it's a humbling experience, and sometimes you need to be humbled in life. But it's like, I realized something today. It's like, I don't even jack off or want to jack off for the feeling. It's like, I've done it so many times, bro. I don't know the exact number, but it's definitely a lot, bro. And I'm like, I've done it enough times to know that the feeling is not like that amazing that I like have to do it. It's like, it's not even that I'm desiring, or the reason I do it is not even because I want to feel the feeling of ejaculating or whatever. I feel like the real reason I do it is because I don't want to feel like I should do it. It's like if you have a mosquito bite and you have an itch, right? And you're like, damn, I really need to itch this mosquito bite. That's like the desire. Then you itch the mosquito bite. Does the itch of the mosquito bite feel good, you itching it, or is it just that you don't feel the need to itch it anymore? Did you just satisfy the desire, or was it actually the feeling that felt good? What is it that I'm chasing? And I realized it's like, bro, I was watching this video and this man was saying that he was talking about the creative powers, the creative energy, the life force that we all carry within ourselves, and the power that it has. And it's like, great power carries great responsibility, or whatever Spider-Man said, or Uncle what's his name. And it's like, bro, you have this power inside of you. If you cannot, I had made a video saying how the universe will test you, God will test you. If you're not the type of man that you can carry that type of power within yourself, then there's going to be some way, like, not everybody can have that power, bro. If everybody could, like, it's not easy. If it was, everyone would do it. That's why it's worth it, right? That's why it has value. That's why we practice NoFap, practice self-discipline. That's why people work out, because it is for longevity. It has sustainability. And it's like the Buddhists. I had made a video, or long times ago, I would say how the Buddhists have a belief that craving leads to suffering, because craving is a physical desire. Like, you crave sex, you crave pleasure, and pleasure is very like pleasure is like a single action, whereas happiness, like, I think in today's age we confuse pleasure and happiness. Pleasure is one single action to bring one single feeling, right? Masturbation, doing drugs, sex, etc., right? Eating fast food, sleeping in. It's like boom boom. Happiness typically comes from fulfillment, which comes from achievement, which is a process of achieving. It's a process. It's actions repeated. It's a pattern, right? It's working out every single day. It's not jacking off and going on streaks or whatever. Sobriety, going long periods of time doing that. Healthy eating, going on long periods of doing that. And I said how the good things in life, right? Working out, these things that we desire, to be fit, to have self-discipline, it takes repeated actions, and you don't see results for a long time. And we live in a time, and I realized when I was younger, it's like, for some reason I had been designed to believe that I would be wasting my youth, right? I'm 21, about to turn 22. I was believing when I was younger, 18, 19, that I would be wasting my young days if I was not chasing pleasure. If I was not having sex and going to parties and doing drugs, I was wasting my youth. That was a waste. It was a waste of my time, because I was going to have to go get a job. I was going to have to get married, and eventually life was going to be like very mundane. And so right now, while I have the opportunity, I should do all these things. I should go have sex with as many people as possible. I should drink alcohol and do all these things. And while I'm young, right, I'd be wasting my youth. Like, why aren't you doing that? You're young. You might as, like, you need to go do that. And I realize how backwards it is right now, bro. You're telling me that, first of all, it's so depressing to think that my future is gonna be like so bad that I need to right now do as much fun things as possible. And of course that's gonna be the reality, because you're putting value in, again, cravings lead to suffering, something that is physical. You're putting value and saying that your life is good and fun because you are having sex. Your life is good and fun because you are drinking alcohol and because you are going to parties, right? And so if you put value in fun in correlation with your ability to drink alcohol and have sex, then yeah, inevitably you're gonna suffer. That's cravings lead to sufferings. It's something outside of yourself. Inevitably, that's not gonna always be there, right? Because, and it's not even a spiritual thing. Well, the physical world is gonna eventually, you know, decay. Everything is decaying, or whatever they say, which is true. But it's also, it's like, bro, you're not always gonna have pornography, right? What if the internet goes out? It's like, this isn't a thing that is sustainable. This isn't a thing that's sustainable. But I just realized how backwards it is these days, man. It's like in the times that you have the least amount of risk and the greatest opportunity to grow, like if you had $1,000, any investment banker or whatnot would tell you the best time to invest is earlier in life, right? If you started playing piano 10 years ago, you would be amazing right now, versus if you started today, you would have far less time, because now you got to go to school, have a job, maybe you have a girlfriend. There's so many other things. And plus, when you're young, you just have, your brain is still developing. You just have like, you are more able to like rewire what you're doing, right? These practices haven't been repeated for so long, so you're able to kind of change them up or whatever. But I realized, because I had relapse today, man, it's like, I need to get to a point where I can handle the feeling. And I had talked about how feeling like horny, that's just an emotion. Like, that's a feeling, right? Feeling angry. And this guy had also said that a true man is slow to anger, right? He doesn't react. He's not reactionary or impulsive to his emotions or his feelings. Feeling horny is a feeling. You don't just feel horny and say, well, I need to jack off because I feel horny. That's being a slave to your body. That's cravings lead to sufferings. You are indulging in whatever it is that you're doing. Pornography, drugs, whatever, bro. But it's tough, man. I told you, man, it's not easy. It's like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And when I had first started my my YouTube channel, posting videos or whatever, all I posted was NoFap, because that was the only thing, bro. I was like, I need to do NoFap. I need to get this energy, because that is gonna be what helps me to get sober. That is gonna be what helps me to chase my dreams, to be able to have the energy to do all these other things. That's gonna give me like an XP boost. That's gonna level me up. That's gonna make me a man, right? If I can control this strong desire, probably the strongest desire, this inherent desire within my body, if I can master that and practice self-discipline in this regard, everything else will seem very easy. Everything else will seem very easy, man. And you learn a lot about yourself through it too. But it's just, all these things are coping mechanisms, man. Pornography, masturbation, it's all coping mechanisms. And a lot of it is inadequacy, self-hatred, like some form of, you feel as though you don't have a purpose. And it's ironic, because that same thing that you're doing is what we're teaching and saying, that you should do these things because your life is already decided. Well, you might as well do all these things, because eventually your life, you know, you're going to have to grow up and work a 9 to 5, you know, and you're not going to be able to party and, you know, have sex with a lot of people, because you're going to have a wife and all these things. So you might as well do it now and get locked into the rat race, because eventually life is going to suck. And it's like, yeah, bro, if you get locked into that, then of course, why would you not feel this feeling of being lost? Like, I would go to parties and stuff like that, and everyone looks lost, man. And it seems as though people are like masking this feeling of a lack of identity, of a lack of purpose, that they don't know who they are. And so they're trying to get drunk. They're trying to smoke whatever it is. And they're just trying to like mask this reality. They're trying to find a way out of actually like looking into the mirror and saying like, yo, who am I? Like Whereas NoFap, sobriety, these things do the opposite. They take away that mask and they make you feel as though like you have to look in the mirror. Like that's when you learn the most about yourself, is when you're sober, because what, you're left with yourself. When you don't jack off, what, you're left with yourself. It's the same reason they say like after you jack off that you feel relaxed, because now that that feeling is gone, now you're left with yourself, and there's like a moment of clarity because that demon has like let go and now it's really you. But there's a way that you can feel that, and it can be sustainable rather than you having to jack off in order to feel that way. And that's where I think long periods of NoFap occur. But it ain't easy, bro. It's really not easy. And it's like I came full circle, man, because I've been doing some reflection about where I've been at, or like, you know, where my life was and things like that. And I'm in a good place, but it's like when I had first started making videos, I made it because nothing was working. I couldn't stop relapsing. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't stop. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just make a YouTube video. I didn't think anyone would watch it, but I was like, I'm going to watch it, and that'll be motivation for me. I'll give myself motivation. Who else, right? I'm going to do it for myself. And so I'll give myself motivation. I'll make videos and say how, you know, I'm struggling with this, or I'm struggling with that, and just to get it out, bro, just to turn on the cameras and be like, bro, this is what I'm struggling with. I'll be vulnerable. Yeah, I jacked off. I watched porn. I was doing whatever, these drugs and all this different stuff. But it's like I'm okay with saying that because I don't think that that's who I am. Like I'm okay with being vulnerable and saying like, yeah, I watch porn, because I don't think that the real me is a man that watches porn. And so that's fine. You can judge that person because that's not even the real me. I don't even identify with that being, or that whatever that is, bro. And so it's tough, man. It is tough, but NoFap's the number one thing, man. Relapse again, but it's all good, bro. We relapsed and come back 20 times harder, bro, because you can't beat yourself up. This is something I realized, like how I said that pornography is filling a void. It's like a form of almost, you know, you feel inadequate, and so you do it. And it's like, if you get to a point where when you relapse, you beat yourself up, you're just going to feel more inadequate. And so you're just going to probably do it again. And that's where I think people go on like a rehab or a relapse like splurge, where it's like, and I've gone through that, where I try to like make up for lost time. I go on a mad streak, and then it's like I'm jacking off multiple times a day, because now I'm like, well, there's no streak, I might as well just keep doing it. And I was locked out of like this pleasure, you know, this candy shop or whatever. And now I was let back in, and I just went crazy. I couldn't control myself. I was impulsive. And so that's the reality of it, man. You can't really, you have to, sometimes I think you just got to laugh about it, bro. It happened. You can't put too much stock in it. You know, we're human. We're not perfect. Like, that's something I would always think, well, I can't make a YouTube video because I relapsed. It's like, well, yeah, that's the point. Like, the point is the journey. That's the point. Like, everybody watching this video is not on a million-day streak or whatever. Majority of y'all watching this video are human. All of y'all are human just like me. All of y'all have relapsed. All of y'all have done this. So it's like, yeah, of course. Like that's the authentic part of being vulnerable or whatever it is, bro. But anyway, man, I'm coming back harder. No pun intended. I'm not coming. I'm going. I'm gonna go on a streak, bro. That's all I'm saying. It's Phanto, man. Comment how y'all are doing on NoFap. This is still the number one thing that I get comments about. It's the number one thing plaguing young men in society today, bro. But anyway, man, I'll catch y'all on the flip side, Phanto. Peace.